I've been thinking a lot about the idea of Madam President and why it's so much bigger than a title. It's a concept and a challenge and literally needs to be heard and said and felt in every conversation that we're having every single day. Every time that something major happens with women, women's rights, there's so much conversation in my feminist gift shop, and there's so many different perspectives that I get to hear and so many hugs I get to receive and give and tears and laughs. It's just a full gambit of emotions. And it's really interesting how it's all been sitting with me the last week. So many of the stories that I heard were about women feeling undervalued, dismissed, criticized, villainized, and I really don't believe that I can change the whole world. And I don't believe it's my responsibility or anyone else's too. I believe it's my responsibility to change my world when it's not working for me. And so what I choose to do is to come at every situation from a place of curiosity and joy at the end of it and understanding. And there's an interesting mix there that all seems to happen at once for me. And to hear the stories of everyone that's coming into the WOW shop and expressing the full range has been overwhelmingly powerful. There's something that I'm going to choose to do, and if it feels good to you, I welcome you to do it as well. It's something that in the shop I've been talking about a lot, and when people were walking in and they were seeing the Madam President merch, and I was talking to them about how it's not a party, it's not a person, but the concept of Madam President has value, is important. And so what I'm going to try to do is to put it into as many casual conversations. I'm going to call my friends Madam President. I'm going to remind people how beautiful the idea of Madam President is by having it as part of our daily lives. And that's something I'm really excited to get going. I think by calling people Madam President and embracing that is going to be such a beautiful reminder of the value that person has, because you're saying it with love. You're saying it with a welcome, welcome Madam President. How are you? I feel like that energy behind it is going to be such a beautiful way to celebrate it and remind people of the symbol and the respect that the position holds, and normalize, and it's definitely going to normalize the idea of Madam President. And I think that there's a million little ways to campaign, quote unquote. There's a million ways to look at this situation, but I think that this is one that that could be an interesting addition.